All right, number 5 is a little different. We do rewrite this one, but using some different techniques. One thing is we're going to factor out a 4, so we end up with antiderivative of 4 times 1 plus tangent squared of u. Remember, we need this to look like one of those antiderivatives that we know. And tangent squared is not one of those ones. So if it was one of those ones, it would be easy. We can just do antiderivative 4 and then keep the 4 in front of this and antiderivative of tangent squared. But that doesn't work. So what we're going to have to call on for this one is an old trig identity. All right, one of the Pythagorean identities. 1 plus tangent squared is actually equal to, anybody? Anybody? That's equal to secant squared. 1 plus tangent squared of u is going to be the same as secant squared of u. So really, this is the same as 4 times secant squared of u du. Now we've got it, so we have the secant squared of u. That's one we know. That's the derivative of tangent. So the antiderivative of secant squared is going to be tangent of u. The constant stays out in front, times antiderivative, which is tangent of u, plus c. So those old Pythagorean identities might pop up from time to time. Most of you should remember probably sine squared plus cosine squared equals 1, but there are a couple other ones. These are on the website. I do have a link to a document on the home page that has all the Pythagorean identities. All right, number 6. Again, need to rewrite it. Needs to look like one of those ones up at the top. So it's kind of going back to pre-calc when you guys had to do the different verifying and simplifying with trig identities. This one, a lot of times we'll rewrite things in terms of sine and cosine, and we'll look at some techniques with that later. But in this one, we can actually go ahead and simplify the cosine over sine part to help us out. Instead of writing everything like the cosecant in terms of sine or cosine, we're going to rewrite cosine over sine. Then we're going to be left with cosecant of w, and then cosine over sine is cotangent of w. Now it fits one of those integrals from the top of the page. Antiderivative of cosecant times cotangent is going to be negative cosecant of w plus c.